Hey, what's going on, my good random people? Thanks for tuning back into another one. Now, let me tell you something. This woman, she's a little crazy. Just check it out, tune in, watch her.
That in September of last year, he assaulted you.
Yes.
Then again, there was some sort of an altercation in October of last year, and you were arrested. And it is your claim that after that, you were barred from going to the house, and Mr. Powell got rid of all of your property.
No, he has all my property.
You want it back, or you want what he got rid of? You want the value of it? Mr. Powell says that there was never an assault in September, at least not one perpetrated by him.
Correct.
And that the property that you're speaking of was property that you were supposed to retrieve with the assistance of a third party pursuant to a court order. You never got a third party come and get your property, and he got rid of it.
Correct.
Okay. How long did you live together, Ms. Clemens?
2 years, a little over 2 years.
From when to when?
From
His face just says, I'm so tired. I'm so tired.
of 2001.
2002. Were you living in his apartment, your apartment, or is it an apartment that you moved into together?
He moved into.
She looks so innocent and normal and sweet.
So you were living in 2002 in a leased house.
Yes,
And in whose name was the lease?
both of ours.
Is that right?
This is correct.
And when did the lease?
Whenever I see a lot of papers on somebody's desk, I know they're very prepared.
You left the house in October of 2002. There was still a few months to go on the lease. Is that
Yes.
right? All right. Now I want you to tell me first, since you're suing for this assault that allegedly happened in September of 2002, I want you to tell me the circumstances surrounding that assault.
Me and Mr. Powell got into an argument, and basically it was the same thing, arguing about who did what, and basically we weren't getting along. We weren't getting along at all. And he hit me.
What time of the day? Where were you?
And it was nighttime, and I was in my room.
And he just hit you.
One thing I know about abuse victims, they're very detailed about their abuse. And this right here is a red flag to me.
I cried for a while. We argued some more, and he left out the room.
And then what happened?
The next day I woke up feeling sore all over, so I went to the hospital.
You have a hospital report?
Yes, I do.
Let me see it. Where were you hit?
Here, there, and on my other arm.
You said he slapped you with an open fist.
He slapped me and he hit me a couple times.
You didn't tell me that.
I'm sorry, I wasn't clear, but he slapped me and hit me a couple times.
Did you go to the police?
No, I did not. I refused to.
After you went to the hospital, where did you go?
I went back home.
Did you tell them at the hospital that you have a safe place to go?
Not exactly, no, because...
Well, that's what they say that you told them.
Yes, I
That
went
you had a
home.
safe place to go, and the safe place to go is you went home.
Yes, because he was at work. It was safe at home. He was gone.
Well, did you pack up your things and leave?
No, I did not.
Why not?
Because I was in love with Mr. Powell. We had arguments.
See, Judge, you don't like when people try to cry wolf and then come back in court and try to sue for it or try to get some type of sympathy for it.
Went home and you decided to stay. Do you have children together?
No, we do not.
So the only thing that you have together is a lease.
Yes,
Do you work?
yes,
Were you working at the time?
yes.
So then you're not financially dependent upon him for any reason.
Oh, no, he was financially dependent on me.
So that there was no reason why you couldn't just pick up and leave.
I understand that, ma'am.
Who are these people here with you today?
My best friend, MJ Andrews, and my ex-husband who took me to the hospital, and they're here with me to support me.
So you could have gone to either one of their houses, is that
Yes,
right? If
ma'am,
you
I
felt
could
that you were in danger.
I don't feel like I...
See, and that's her mistake, bringing people for support. Judge, you don't care about no support. She cares about facts, and that's it. She don't care nothing about no dang support.
What's important today is my things that were left in the house, and I did try to obtain a
Just
third
1 second.
party.
I'm not there yet. So what you're telling me is you just threw in this September incident
No, they asked
for good
me.
measure.
They asked me what happened, and I told them.
You could tell them, but you had no inkling to sue him for this. Fine.
important.
That's good, because from me, you wouldn't get anything. I'm not.
That's the one thing I can respect about Judge Judy. Yeah, she's a douchebag, but look at, she doesn't play about false allegations, and that's one thing I respect about her.
Going to you because, according to you, there was an assault in October,
Correct.
and she was arrested.
Correct.
Let me hear what happened.
Okay, basically what happened was, as she may have mentioned, that we were not getting along at this point in our relationship because of the different mood swings that she would have, as well as the what I would characterize as obsessive, possessive type of behavior towards me
Mr.
in our
Powell.
relationship. Yes.
How long did you know Miss Clemens?
I knew her for 2 years.
When you knew her, was she taking medication?
I wasn't aware of her taking a medication until maybe 6 months in our relationship.
Either an antidepressant, is that what you take,
Yes.
antidepressants?
I'm no longer on them. I no longer take them.
But you were taking them for quite a while.
Yes, and Mr. Powell knew because
That's all. You were taking them for quite a while.
But Mr. Powell was aware of the time that I got them.
I don't know why that matters, but I like this guy so far. He keeps his composure. He's not interrupting. I like him.
And in 2000, had you been taking antidepressants or any other psychiatric medication?
I only started taking Zoloft, which is an antidepressant, in 2001.
Okay.
Prior to that, no,
Nothing. In October, sir.
Yes.
You want to tell me what happened?
As she said, she was prescribed. I said she was prescribed medication, but she wasn't taking it, or if she was taking this medication, she was taking it with the addition of alcohol at the same time, which basically caused the violent mood swings. There was a lot of violence anyway. October 3rd, it escalated to the point where she pushed me through a glass door. The glass was already broken from an incident that she had broken.
No, I wasn't there, but pushing you to a glass door, okay.
Was to break things and throw things. Anyway, the police were called in. She was arrested at that point.
On the 3rd of October?
Correct. There's a temporary protection order that's given with any domestic violence case. She violated that temporary protection order by constantly harassing and stalking me, as well as coming by the house, as well as the number of phone calls that she would call. Like I said, I have an answer machine that takes 50 messages. She would fill those up totally.
Now, that part I could believe. She looked like a stalker. I could believe that cold-heartedly.
Rearrest her.
November the 4th, I want to say, Your Honor. I'm not sure exactly when, but at that court date, she was dealing with some bad check things, as well as a preliminary trial on this domestic violence. They rearrested her that day because they had an arrest warrant out for her, but they couldn't find her. They got her when we went to court that day, so she was rearrested at that time. So I made sure that the judge understood that my problem is only this. I want this woman to deal with the medication and help herself. I even told him I don't even want her to have jail time, as opposed to, could you just make sure that there's something in place that she gets treatment for her.
She don't know this is helping his case. She don't know this is helping his case. She's trying to get sympathy, but it's not about to work at all.
It was jeopardizing me and my son's life through all these different things.
Okay.
Judge Judy continues.
I'm not making fun of mentally healthy people at all, but if you're going to sue somebody, you have to be mentally ready to come to court. Court is not easy. It's not like I'm going to just go there, cry in front of Judge Judy, and I'm going to win. No, you have to come to court ready and prepared for everything that comes along with it. Her crying is just helping his case. That's all it's doing. Watch. Just continue to watch. You're going to see it's going to get worse and worse as time goes on. She's going to keep crying. She's going to keep getting hysterical. Just check it out.
Mrs. Clemens, in November, did you plead guilty to any of these charges, and were you given a year's probation?
I pled guilty to the violation of the protection order,
Okay.
and they dismissed the domestic violence.
The underlying.
I know the only reason I placed those phone calls to Mr. Powell in violation of the protection order was because I had no longer had any of my things. Mr. Powell denied a third party on two other occasions.
Wait just 1 second. I'm not there yet. I asked you if you pled guilty. The answer
Yes.
is yes. You had an attorney, is that right?
Yes, and I spent a night in jail.
Okay. Now, as part of the order, the judge told you that you could send a third party for your property.
Yes, but Mr. Powell,
Just a second. What was the name of the third party that you designated to get your property?
my aunt Donna, Mr. Powell denied.
Just a second. What was wrong with these two people here to get your property?
My aunt was available with me in court, and therefore the people, when I left the courthouse that day, we designated her because the court officers
Who
were there.
designated her?
My lawyer and I, because she was there. She was available. She was in
Okay,
court
was that
with
part of the order?
me. No, it's not. The person isn't designated on the court papers.
Okay.
I went back to court, Your Honor.
I'm not there yet, Ms. Clement. I'm trying to go in order. When, for the first time, were you contacted by Ms. to get her property?
There was never any contact business. There was only contact by Lisa a week after the trial.
Just a second.
Yes,
A week after
the trial.
the trial,
Correct.
did you, Ms. Clements, go to the defendant's house?
No, ma'am, I did
Did your
not.
aunt go to the defendant's house?
No, she did not. I have a witness here today that he claims was with me.
I kind of would like to know the backstory of how they got together. Where was they at? Because they don't look like they would be going to the same places.
You brought these two witnesses here today instead of your aunt.
because my aunt is working and she could not get off of work.
Don't these people work?
Yes, but
Listen to me, Ms. Clements. The defense that Mr. Powell has in this case is that you were instructed by the court to have a third party retrieve your property. His defense is you never had a third party contact him in order to get that property. You say that you did, and that third party was your aunt. So it would seem to me that that is a key witness. These people.
Correct. Why didn't you bring the people who mattered the most? You brought these emotional support people instead of the one person who could help you win your case.
Well, you say can testify that you were trying to comply with the judge's order.
My aunt was not, to me, a pivotal key witness in this.
Okay, well, to me, she is.
I understand that, Your Honor.
Now, I'd like to see a list of the property that you say you left behind at Mr. Powell's. Do you still have the bed with the mattress and box spring?
No.
Chest of drawers?
I think she should still be on them pills because she can't be crying over this stuff. Please don't tell me she's crying over this stuff.
A couple bags of clothes, some books, and she does have one dresser. It's a desk. Right, that's it. Other than that, everything else is thrown out, which was shoes, it was toothbrushes, personal items, things of that nature. After she basically kept violating judges.
I never seen nobody lose it like this on Judge Judy before. Never have I seen this.
Keep this going on. This civil case is basically the same example of her trying to keep some type of relationship going here, Your Honor.
Mr. Powell, I want you to tell me, sir, when she was arrested in October.
Correct.
Now, up until that time,
Judge Judy's not been paying attention to it. You know what's crazy? Usually she offers women napkins when they cry. She has offered her no napkin.
your clothes and things. Did there ever come a time when you gave certain of her property over to somebody so that she would have clothes and shoes?
As soon as she got out of jail, she was there within 2 hours with the police escort to get her things. They gave her things. They allowed her to take things out that day. So she took most of her things that first day.
Miss Clemens, on October the 4th, were you accompanied by a police officer, easy to verify, back to Mr. Powell's house to retrieve some of your property?
Yes, I was accompanied by the police officer.
And how long did you stay with the police officer, which is also easy to verify, in Mr. Powell's house?
Mr. Powell rushed us out after about 20 minutes. He told me to get what I could get and get out.
No, there was a police officer with you.
Yes, and
There was a police officer with you. I assume that if you were there with an officer, you wanted to get things that were most valuable to you. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Why didn't you take your jewelry?
Because the jewelry was what I consumed, what jewelry I had on was most important to me. The jewelry that was left in the house were things I did not wear every day. The clothing I obtained.
I think she thought it was going to be easier than this and her tears would work.
I wish I could.
I'm not talking about everything. I'm asking you about a specific thing. I'm asking you about jewelry. To me, woman goes into a house, she grabs cash and jewelry first, and then you go to your pocketbook.
She's already accepted defeat. She's not presenting no facts or nothing. She's already feel like she's already lost.
This whole situation with Lisa has been such a terrifying thing. As I said, I've even neglected to countersue her for the amount of rent left on our lease, as well as the damages.
Please let this be a lesson to everybody. You have to be mentally ready for court. If you look at how this woman's breaking down, she is not, dang! Look how she just checked him out. Like, she is angry at him.
I don't want nothing else to do with this whole situation whatsoever, so I've neglected to countersue.
Judge Judy
We obviously know who's going to win the day in case, but the point of this whole clip is just to show you have to be mentally ready for court. You have to have your facts, you have to have your evidence, and you have to have your proof. Yes, those are all the same thing. All I'm saying is you have to be mentally ready. She is not mentally ready for court. She's not ready for court, period, in my honest opinion. But let's just continue to check it out. I mean, we know she's going to lose, but let's just check it out. I would really love to get the background of this story, how they met. This is interesting.
I would like to know, Mr. Powell, on what date you disposed of, according to you, these couple of bags of clothing and shoes.
November the 19th, the day that she came over a week after the trial in violation of the judge's order. There was no more purpose at that point. She was going to keep violating the protection order. She was going to keep violating the judge's order.
Now, she was found guilty on the violation.
She was found guilty on the domestic violence. She had it mixed up, Your Honor. That's the only thing I'm clarifying. She was found guilty of the domestic violence. I plea bargained her to dismiss the violation of the temporary protection order.
So she wouldn't go to jail?
Correct. That she would get this counseling.
Right.
You know what the interesting part is? He actually do care. He actually do want her to be better.
What?
Correct.
You want to say something?
Yes.
Well, step up for a second. Tell me what you want to say. Your last name is?
My last name is Twyman.
Go ahead.
I went with the police to their house to get her clothes and things.
Is that the day she was released?
This was the second time, I believe. And he would not let her get anything. And the police called both their lawyers, and I believe both lawyers agreed that she could get these things. And he told them at first she could come and get them. And then the police called me back.
Just a second. Who did he tell she could come and get?
He told the police.
How do you know that?
Because the officer called me at home, at my house, and told me that I could go and get the things without her.
You, not her.
Not her.
You.
Me. Right.
Fine. When did you go to get her things?
Now,
listen to me carefully. When did you go to get her things?
I never got a chance to because the officer called me back and said he changed his mind.
No. I don't believe.
Oh, well,
It seemed like he's hurting the case more than helping the dang case. He should have kept sitting down.
No, she was not allowed to go.
Good.
She was there to...
Now let me hear your version of these events.
Okay, Your Honor. After the police, they said she has a reasonable expectation to come after the domestic violence case to come back and get some things out of her house. I gave them the run of the house to get what they have to do because I understood the police officers. After that, I was advised by the police officers.
I don't know if I miss how much the value of all this stuff is worth, but to me, it felt like she's just trying to hold on to him, like he said with this case.
In violation of what everybody is
Who's
stating.
they?
She came over more than once. He came over the second time after the police with her, too. She was there with him the second time.
Where was she?
They were in the truck in front of the house.
Did you ever go over to the house in the truck with her? Shh. The answer is either yes or no.
Yes.
Well, you can't do that, sir.
Okay, well, we met the police there at the house. And we were not in front of your house. We were 2 doors down, actually. We called the police before going to his house.
She can't go there, sir. Don't you understand that?
Exactly. I understand that. Okay, Jan, if you may, if she can't go there, why would he have her come there and pay the rent and then put her out?
Again,
after the whole situation.
Let's not get involved with things that you really don't know anything about.
I know about it.
Okay? Sit down.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
You have to put a period. You have to say this did not work out. The relationship is over.
Isn't it interesting how she's not hysterical or crying so much right now? Isn't that a little bit interesting?
Or, that's the way it usually goes. It's over. Forget it. Go buy a new TV and a new hamper. Do you understand?
Yes,
It's
I do.
finished. It's over.
Yes,
If you stop taking your medication because you don't feel as if you need
I don't
it
need it.
anymore,
I'm not with him anymore.
if you don't feel as if you need it anymore, that's a judgment that you're going to have to make. I'm not so sure, Ms. Clements, that that's the best idea. However, if you think that that's a good idea, fine. Cross him off and say it's over.
It was no surprise that she lost. My whole point was just about the mental health. But thank you for tuning in, man. That's it. Thank you, random people. Please subscribe and join me again.